start. My name is April Foster. I am a facilitator with Project Success. I have been able to visit the campus 2 times, which we had 2 really nice visits. Both times it rained, but the students that we met were so phenomenal. I am a HBCU graduate myself. I graduated from Grambling State University, whoop, whoop, which is located in Grambling, Louisiana. And I just wanted to say I majored in English, and it's taken me many, many places. And Anne asked me to talk a little bit about my own experience at a HBCU. And I just wanted to touch on 3 things that really left an impression on me. When I went to Grambling, I have formed lifelong friends that are friends to this day that I know that I would never have met if I would have stayed in my small community. It enhanced my identity of who I am as an African-American woman and who I can be in the world, and my voice and my presence. And I needed that. I didn't have any sisters, so I needed that HBCU to give me that little push. And then it boosted my self-confidence. I had never been in a place where everyone I met had different experiences than me. I really grew up very sheltered, and I grew up thinking everybody does the same thing I do. And when I went to an HBCU, the professors, the students studying abroad, just really enhanced my education more than the classes in the classroom. And I know many of the students here will agree to that. So that's just my story. I'm here to kind of facilitate some of the questions if students don't have questions, so there's no lag. But there is one final question I will ask at the end for the student panel, just to give some advice to our students. So with that being said, I'm going to present it back to, do I give it to you, Ms. Kantz?
Yes, I'd be happy to take it from here. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tammy McCants, and I proudly serve Howard University as the Associate Director of Admission. We're delighted to have you with us this afternoon to learn more about Howard University, our admission process, and to hear directly from some of our students what their experiences have been. At this time, I'd like to have our students that are joining us today to introduce themselves. Amber, let's get started with you since you are our graduating senior of the 2.
Hi everyone, my name is Amber Tucker. I am a recent graduate now from Howard University, a broadcast journalism major, double minor in graphic design and poli-sci from Richmond, Virginia.
Maya, our other graduating senior.
Hi everyone, my name is Maya Brown. I'm a recent grad, that sounds so weird to say now, biology major, chemistry minor from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Great. Julian.
Hello everyone, my name is Julian Malone. I'm a rising junior. I'm a psychology major, business administration minor from Columbus, Ohio.
Great. Madison.
Hey y'all, my name is Madison Keller. I'm a rising senior. I'm a biology major, chemistry minor, and I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana.
And Alexis.
Hey y'all, my name is Alexis Washburn. I'm a sophomore political science major, Spanish minor from Louisville, Kentucky.
Great. Thank you all very much. Okay, can everyone see my screen? Awesome. So again, welcome to the Howard University virtual experience. Howard University has been in existence now for 153 years. And over that time, our accomplishments and accolades have continually grown. We have over 86,000 living alumni around the world. We have conferred over 130,000 degrees and certificates. We are the #1 producer of African Americans that earn degrees in journalism and communications. To date, we have produced over 110 scholars. We're the leading producer of African Americans that go on to medical school in the United States, and our School of Business earned the #1 spot by the Princeton Review as having the greatest opportunity for minority students. Listed on the screen now are some of our recognizable alumni. We are very fortunate to have a supportive and engaged alumni community. We also have a dynamic student community as well. And even though we're an HBCU, we are a very, very diverse population. We welcome students to the university every year from across the country and around the world. One of our students from Nigeria says she never thought she would find her home away from home until coming to Howard University. Another student says she feels that she's finally able to embrace her Afro-Latina background, being surrounded by Black excellence. We truly are the melting pot of the diaspora. Our total enrollment is just over 9,000. In our 7 graduate and professional schools, we have about 3,000 students enrolled. And in our 6 undergraduate schools and colleges, we have about 6,000 students enrolled. Our last entering freshman class was very representative of the diversity I mentioned. We brought students into our family this past August from 50 US states and territories and 21 different countries. Not only was this a diverse class, but this class was very well prepared academically for the rigors of Howard University. The average SAT and ACT scores for our last incoming freshman class are listed at the top of the screen, and so that you can see how our student scores compare with other African Americans that tested at the same time, those averages are listed beneath. Not only did this class have impressive standardized test scores, but their average GPA leaving high school was a 3.60. That's unweighted on a 4.0 scale. If your school system does not grade on a 4.0 scale, we will recalculate your GPA, and we do give extra consideration for AP, honors, and IB curricula. We have an incredible faculty population at the university. 98% of our faculty hold terminal degrees in their areas of discipline. I invite you to look at the faculty profiles for the majors that you may be interested in so that you can get a better idea of the expertise that our faculty bring into the classroom. Is Dr. Carr on the call with us?
I am. Hi, Ms. McKinney.
Awesome. Hi, Dr. Carr.
How's everybody doing? How you doing?
Doing great. Thank you so much for joining us today. If
Okay.
you could please speak to the importance of a university's faculty in helping students as they are determining what their career choices and paths are going to be.
With great pleasure. It's really a pleasure to be with our folks from the Upper Mississippi Valley again, the opposite end of where Madison is from. I've stood on the banks of the Mississippi River there between Minneapolis and St. Paul. There are a couple of things I have to do every time I come to Minnesota. One is go to Fort Snelling, where Dred and Harriet Scott were, and Little Crow was up there, where Lincoln signed that death warrant. I said, take me to the place. I got to be there. I also have to make sure that I go to North Minneapolis, and one of my best students at Howard, in fact.
Yes.
She's a double graduate of Howard University. She's from Rochester, Minnesota. So she went to Howard undergrad and the law school. And there's no more important relationship after Miss McCants and her top rate team, great deal of respect for them, recruit you, bring you to the university. They then stay with you all 4 years, and they turn you over to us, the faculty. At the heart of any learning enterprise is teachers and students. So those of you graduating from high school, congratulations. And I know the value of the faculty, particularly at a HBCU, because if it hadn't been for a Black college, I wouldn't be on this call. April, I'm a Tiger too, but my Tiger was Tennessee State though. I remember in 1986, we came down there to your stadium, Eddie Robinson Stadium, and y'all beat the tar out of us, but we had a great time in Grambling, Louisiana. In fact, the current dean of the Howard University Graduate School, Dana Williams, is an English graduate of Grambling University. In fact, she talks about a Dr. Rebecca Lewis. I don't know if you ever heard that name at Grambling. But,
yes, I have.
She came out of Grambling under Dr. Lewis's tutelage, and she's the dean of the graduate school now at Howard. Black colleges in particular are where young people, when you come, you get to see critical masses of scholars like the ones you see on the screen there. My friend Edna Medford, who's one of the great Reconstruction and Lincoln scholars in the country. You see her on C-SPAN a lot. If y'all look her up, you can see her. She's waiting for you. She's a Virginian too, Amber. She's actually a little south of Richmond. She went to Hampton undergrad. We don't hold it against her at Howard. But the importance of faculty in the learning enterprise, we take it very seriously, because when you come to our school, just like a Grambling or a Tennessee State or a Hampton, when you come to Howard, you're not just coming to sit in our classes. We take you on as really members of our extended family, because we know that when you come to an HBCU, your parents are and your families are expecting that we serve not just as your instructors, but we kind of serve as kind of another set of eyes for them, making sure that you get everything you need. So when they come back for graduation, we can say, we have done the job you asked us to do. So when you come, you can study across the arts and sciences. We're in the process of institutional review now. We're emerging with all kind of new combinations of programs. The word just came down today. Howard's going to be building a brand new hospital and study medical center. So we're dealing with the kind of things that affect the least of these. Some of y'all got families, and please be safe. I'm going to end with this. Please be safe and careful, because some people are out there on the front lines. The UPS folks, the mail women and men, the people working at the grocery stores, driving taxi cabs. And Howard University is a place that you can come to study the effects of not having enough money to make ends meet on the populations, not just in America, but the world. And when we study that, when you get a Howard degree, when you come to Howard, you can study that not only in the United States, but anywhere you are from. Native American populations, that's a huge thing in Minnesota. Come to Howard and find some folks here. And if we're not represented in the population, when you come, you are represented, and our reach is long. Ms. McCants, thank you for letting me have a couple of minutes. And thank you all for, I told my students, I just got out of class, I told them I was coming to talk to y'all, and they were like, good, because we need some replacements, because many of them, as you heard on the call, are graduating or have just graduated. A university is always renewing itself. So we need some of y'all come on down to Howard. Y'all come so we can continue this work. Maybe we'll take you to Egypt or Ghana or South Africa or any of the many other places we go in the summertime for study abroad as well. Thanks, Ms. McCann.
Thank you.
Man.
Our motto is truth and service, and no better way to uncover truth than through research. Research is a tremendous part of what we do at Howard University, and regardless of your classification or your major, there are opportunities for you to engage in research. Every spring, our graduate school hosts Research Week, and students that have conducted research can present their findings at that time. One of the programs that demonstrates the university's commitment to research is our Karsh STEM Scholars Program. For students that are interested in science, technology, engineering, or math fields, and have a commitment to earning a PhD and conducting research, this program can fund your education through your terminal degree. There's a summer bridge program for those students accepted, and a lot of opportunities for travel and internships. In each of our 6 undergraduate schools and colleges, there are opportunities for students to get practical, hands-on experience right on campus. The College of Arts and Science is the oldest and the largest of the 6. For students that are a part of the Division of Fine Arts, the university has 3 art galleries and 2 theaters. For students that are part of our science programs, we have an interdisciplinary research building that provides our faculty and students with the space and resources necessary to conduct research. Students that are a part of our College of Engineering and Architecture have access to our state-of-the-art makerspace. It allows them to utilize cutting-edge technologies in engineering and architecture. Every student that is admitted to our School of Business is assigned a mentor from a Fortune 500 company through our 21st Century CAP program. Often those relationships result in internships while you're a student with us and employment after graduation. For students that are a part of the Kathy Hughes School of Communications, the university has a student-run AM radio station, a commercial FM station, as well as a television station on campus. Students in our College of Nursing and Allied Health Sciences have access to opportunities through the Student Health Center, our Counseling Center, and the Howard University Hospital. And for our education majors, the university has a preschool on campus as well as a middle school for science and technology. The top 5 majors that students apply to are listed on the screen. Admission to the university is very competitive and we are highly selective. We'll talk more about the admission process in just a moment. The 7 graduate and professional schools that we offer are listed on the screen. For those students that are interested in becoming a doctor or a dentist, we do have an accelerated program that will allow you to complete your undergraduate degree in 2 years. Provided you do that successfully, you then transition into our College of Medicine or Dentistry and complete that degree in 4 years. We also have an Office of Pre-Professional Studies that works with our students that are interested in going on to graduate or professional schools, prepare for those entrance exams, and network with those schools that they may be interested in attending. Quite a few Howard University undergraduate students do stay with us to continue their study. The educational opportunities for students outside of the classroom can be just exciting. Through our Ralph Bunche Center for International Affairs and other programs and opportunities that we have, about 60% of our students travel outside of the United States at least once while they're with us. Dr. Carr, I know you've taken students for many years to Egypt. If you can share with us your trips that you take with students.
Yes, ma'am. Very quickly, we have been going in the College of Arts and Sciences, as you heard Ms. McCann say, the largest college at the university. We've been going since 2004 to various places, South Africa, Ghana, Egypt, through study abroad, through the Ralph Bunche Center, and I'm sure some of the undergrads will talk about this in a minute, or recent graduates as well. We go a number of places. You can do it over a semester, or you can do it in the summer. We usually do summer study abroad. And the only other thing I would say is we go to Egypt very deliberately, and we've been doing it since 2008. We had a little gap there when they had the Arab Spring, but then we resumed. We won't be going this August, obviously. We were already slated to go. As part of a consortium, we've recruited Morehouse, Clark Atlanta, some other schools. So we're doing a Black College Consortium. We'll be back, our lips to God's ears, as the Muslims would say, inshallah, we'll be back in August 2021. But we go to Egypt because we teach Egyptian hieroglyphs at Howard. Howard is the only Black college and one of the few colleges in the country where you can study every phase of the ancient Egyptian language. So not just hieroglyphs, but Demotic, Hieratic, and Coptic. And so when we go to Egypt for 2 weeks in August, we find that many of the other tours end up leaving their tours and coming trailing us around because our students are literally translating the Egyptian language off the temple tomb walls. And people are like, y'all can read that? Yeah, not only can we read it, we're going to tell you what it is, because those tour guides have kind of gotten it wrong, because many of them can't read the Egyptian language. So that's just a little teaser to let y'all know, if y'all roll with us, it's a whole nother level. Thank you, Ms. McCann.
Absolutely. Thank you. Madison, I know you had an incredible experience in Oaxaca studying abroad. Can you share your experience with our guests?
Yes, so I got to have a medical internship in Oaxaca, Mexico, the summer after my freshman year. And in Oaxaca, we got to do things like take blood and give vaccines and really put into practice like what it means to be a physician. And we won't be able to do that, until medical school in the United States. So it was a really, really interesting and fun experience. We did it for 6 weeks. It was great to learn a new culture. And a lot of people have connotations that studying abroad is really expensive and different things like that. But especially if you do it over the year, your scholarships transfer over, any financial aid. There's a bunch of scholarships for studying abroad specifically as well. So don't be dissuaded by thinking that it's going to be really expensive. It's less than 5% of everyone who studies abroad is a minority. So we really encourage it at Howard, and a lot of our students do study abroad. So.
Great. Thank you, Madison. As I mentioned, our motto is truth and service. And one of the programs that speaks to the university's commitment to service is our alternative spring break program. Maya, I know you had an incredible experience in Memphis, Tennessee. Can you share that with our guests, please?
Yes. So I went to Memphis, Tennessee with our alternative spring break program, my spring break of junior year. And with each site, there is a different initiative. So my initiatives were education and youth empowerment. So when I was there, I worked with the Ronald McDonald House in the mornings, and we worked with sanitation, making sure that the pantries were clean, basically everything to make sure that the children in remission had a very safe and organized, and basically making their lives as easy as possible while they were there. In the afternoons, I worked with a program that was through the Memphis Free Library called Cloud 901. And their mission was to reduce gang violence in their communities. So they create a robotics team, an art studio, a woodworking shop, basically anything to give the children to do after school so that they would not get wrapped up in gang violence. The big thing about Alternative Spring Break program that it is completely free. So you do not pay anything from where you stay to your travel down there. We didn't want there to be any limitations on people wanting to serve. And so no matter if you are going to Memphis, Tennessee, Ghana, Puerto Rico, you pay nothing except maybe your little meal in the airport or on your little bus trip. So it is an absolutely life-changing experience. You meet amazing people. There's nothing like a bond that you get doing service with people for a week straight, and you are doing service. This is not a vacation. It's not a spring break trip. You really are doing service the entire week. So I highly, highly suggest if you do come to the university, please do it at least one time, if not all 4 years.
Great. Thank you, Maya.
You're welcome.
We encourage all students to have at least one internship while you're with us, and depending on your major, an internship may be a requirement for graduation. In the photograph at the very top of the page, nestled between Savannah Guthrie and Lester Holt, is our very own Amber Tucker. Amber, could you please share your internship experiences with our guests?
Yes, definitely. So I kind of went above and beyond the whole one internship a semester. On campus at Howard University, I've had 3. So I've worked with WHBC 96.3 HD3, which is our on-campus student-run radio station. I was able to have a show on that station called Midday Mimosas, and we broadcasted on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then I also worked with the football team on Howard University's campus. So I was PR and film. I did all the film for away games and home games and any promotional options for graphics wise to put on our Instagram and Twitter page. And then on top of that, I also worked at Spotlight Network, which is our on-campus television station down at the bottom of the hill. On top of all of that, I also worked off campus. I've interned for Bleacher Report, ESPN, USA Today, Fox News, and currently I'm interning at NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt. And then in addition to that, Howard University has given me a bunch of interview options. So I've been able to interview Michael Ealy, Taraji P. Henson, Michelle Obama, Jordan Peele, Lupita, all from Howard University. It's basically because they give you the platform and set you up for excellence without excuse. So we have 2 career fairs each year, one in the fall and one in the spring for our students, as well as also opportunities for our students within each major to get to meet different companies because they'll bring different schools, different programs into the building for you guys to network.
Great. Thank you, Amber. We have a really rich and robust campus life, and we guarantee housing for every entering freshman. Alexis, can you share your experiences living on campus as a freshman female?
Yes, so my first year I stayed in College Hall North, and this is a really cool experience for me because I had 2 roommates. I was in a triple. I know a lot of people coming in are a little worried about being in a triple, but honestly, it was one of the best things that could have happened because not only did I have 1 friend, I had 2. Like coming in, especially because I'm from Louisville, Kentucky, like I mentioned, so like I knew no one when I came to Howard. So being able to have 2 roommates and then also the sisterly bond that I formed with my floor mates in College Hall North, it was really one of my favorite experiences about Howard. And so I know there are other options for freshman females, including the Harriet Tubman Quadrangle, and they say that's the sisterhood. And I know Madison, she lived in Quad. Yeah, Quad. But CHN was truly an amazing experience for me. And if you come in with the mindset that you want to make friends, that you want to form a sisterhood, you can do that anywhere. So I truly loved where I stayed.
Great, thank you. Julian, would you share your experiences as a freshman male on campus?
Coming in as a freshman, just kind of to piggyback off of that, I didn't know a lot of people coming from the Midwest. Not a lot of Howard University comes from Ohio. So it was definitely an adjustment. But my freshman year, I did stay in Drew Hall, and Drew Hall is communal living. So that means that you have to go outside of your room to use the bathroom and take a shower and things such as that. So it was just, it was a great opportunity. Other than just having my roommate, you're kind of forced to get involved and forced to meet new faces and meet new people due to having to come outside of your room. So just being able to have a brotherhood and just being able to, like, the smallest things, as in like you're working all day and then you come back to your room and there's just a bunch of people in your room and y'all playing video games and things such as that. So it's just a different type of bonding. It's just a new experience, and it's something that you can't experience when you're at home due to them being so many people there.
Great, thank you. We are a Division I institution. We have 19 sports. Amber, what's the advice you would give a student athlete interested in playing any of the sports that we offer?
So we want you to submit your portfolios. We would love to see what you guys can do, but we ask that you submit it directly to the recruitment officer for that specific sport and no other coaches. To do that, just attach your unofficial transcript as well as any photos or video footage that you have of you playing that sport and send it off to the recruiter.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
We have over 200 clubs and organizations on campus, and 5 of the Divine 9 were founded at Howard University. On the right of the screen are some of the other popular organizations that our students join. What's important to know is that if you have an interest and we don't have a club or organization to support your interest, you can start your own club on campus through the Office of Student Life and Activities. No HBCU experience is complete without the marching band, and we are proud to be the home of the award-winning Showtime Marching Band. If you are an instrumentalist or interested in being a dancer or a flag girl for the band, you can contact our band director directly. His contact information is on the band's webpage. Homecoming at Howard University is an experience like no other on earth. I'm going to ask Amber and Maya to share their favorite homecoming experiences, especially since now they'll be experiencing homecoming as alumni.
My favorite homecoming experience was just the networking opportunities that you got from homecoming. All of the alumni get to come back. So just being on the yard, especially during Yard Fest, and just meeting different people that you never met before was my favorite homecoming memory.
I think my favorite homecoming memory is getting to see my parents interact with their old friends. Both my parents are alums of Howard University, and now that I'm going to be or am an alum of Howard University, it was always just so nice seeing them interact with old roommates, old friends, old classmates, and knowing that like 20, 30 years later, those bonds were still intact. And so I'm just really excited to be able to go back to school and, you know, maybe people I won't be in touch with for 20, 30 years, still be able to come back on the yard and remember all the fun times we had at Howard.
Great, thank you. We have a very historic campus, and 2 of the buildings on our campus that are designated as National Historic Landmarks are Founders Library and Andrew Rankin Memorial Chapel. We're also very proud to have the Howard University Hospital as a part of our portfolio. The hospital has been in the community now for over 145 years and is the nation's only teaching hospital that's located on the campus of an HBCU. The hospital has really stepped up to assist the Washington, D.C. community as it responds to this pandemic. We have a television and radio station right on our campus as well. Our television station, WHUT, was founded in 1980. It is the only Black-owned and operated non-commercial television station in the United States. And our radio station, WHUR, was founded in 1971. It's the first Black-owned radio station in this area, and it continues to serve as a training ground for students in broadcast communications. We have a newly renovated gymnasium that's available to our students. It includes an Olympic-sized pool and a full fitness facility. You couldn't go to school in a better city than Washington, D.C. Exciting, important things happen in Washington every day, and our students find that the city becomes an extension of the classroom. Julie, and I know you've taken advantage of exploring Washington, D.C. Could you please share with our guests what it's been like for you living in D.C.?
Living in DC is definitely it's been a new experience, but I've definitely taken advantage of it. Just everything being so close, although it is overpopulated to some extent, and there is a lot of people. Things are not far away. So me, I like walking, so I'll try and find I like to have self satisfaction just to get away from campus sometimes, get away from my work, and just being able to explore, whether that's going out and finding a museum or a new food, things such as that. But something that I do on the daily basis is I do work out, and I do have a gym off campus. So this is an opportunity for me to just get around DC and just try new things, and then just being able to get away from my work.
Great, thank you. So, how do you become a Bison and take advantage of all of the wonderful opportunities that Howard University and Washington, D.C. have to offer? That all starts with the application. Our application opens every year on August 1st, and we are Common App exclusive. That's the only way that you can apply to Howard University. For our freshman applicants, there are two deadlines to choose from, November 1st and February 15th. The November 1st deadline has two options, early action and early decision. The early action option allows you to consider offers of admission from other institutions, but the early decision option is binding. So if you choose that decision and we offer you admission, it's with the understanding that you're going to join us in the fall. For students that apply by November 1st, we release decisions the third week of December. The second deadline is February 15th, and for students that choose that deadline, we begin releasing decisions in mid-March and do so through mid-April until all applicants have been notified. A complete freshman application includes the application found at commonapp.org, the $45 application fee or fee waiver if you're eligible. There's an essay that's a part of the application that we really want you to put a lot of time and thought into. We want your high school counselor to upload your official transcript, and we want your test scores to come directly from the testing agency. We recognize that some school districts will add standardized test scores to your transcript, but we must have your scores come directly from ACT or College Board. We ask for 2 letters of recommendation, one from a counselor and one from a teacher. However, if there are others that wish to submit letters on your behalf, please ask that they include your full name and your date of birth. You can upload your resume if you choose to, and there's a supplemental essay that's available for you to complete as well. For those students that attend another institution and wish to transfer to Howard, you still complete the application at commonapp.org and submit the fee. We need official college transcripts from each school you've attended after high school. And if you participated in dual enrollment in high school, we need the transcript from the work that you did at that college as well. There's a personal statement, and we ask for 1 letter of recommendation. The average cost of attendance right now is just about $43,000 a year. The tuition and fees is a fixed cost, but your room and board charges can vary just a bit depending on the residence hall you live in, the meal plan you select, and the number of roommates you have. We are a private institution, so we do not differentiate between in-state and out-of-state residency. We recognize that finances can sometimes be an impediment to students completing their degree in 4 years or less. We've implemented 2 initiatives to help offset some of the costs. The first is our sibling discount. For families that have 2 or more siblings enrolled concurrently in an undergraduate program, we will discount their tuition each semester by 10%. And for students that complete their degree requirements within 4 years or less, we will refund 50% of your out-of-pocket expenses from your final semester. We do offer scholarships based on merit and need. Scholarship consideration begins with a student completing their FAFSA. The FAFSA opens every year on October 1st, and I strongly encourage you to complete it as quickly as possible after it opens, regardless of which application deadline you choose. Merit-based consideration generally begins with a student having a 3.3 GPA combined with an 1100 SAT score or a 22 ACT score. Need-based consideration is derived from the information that's on the student's FAFSA. We also have scholarships available through our band, our athletic programs, and our ROTC programs. We encourage all students to seek outside scholarship opportunities as well. Most financial aid packages are a combination of scholarships, grants, and loans. We try to think of every question that students have during the application process, and we've compiled 2 documents to assist you. Our freshman application guide and our transfer application guide are available on the admissions webpage. You can follow us on these social media outlets, and until we can safely return, please tour our campus virtually. Our virtual tour is available on our website as well. I'd like to thank you for your time and attention this afternoon. And at this point, we can open up for questions from our guests.
So at this time, we're going to ask any of our students who are on if they have any questions for the student panels or Dr. Carr or Mrs. McCants.
I go by Besa, and I have a couple of questions for you guys. One of the thing is I am interested on the BSMD program that you guys offered, and I was wondering if I have to apply for that separately, or when I apply to the admission it's going to be the same, or is the application is going to be separate? And also, do you guys only offer 6 years of program, or is there 7-year and 8-year?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the complete question. What program are you interested in?
She's interested in the BSMD program.
Okay.
And she was asking if it was 6 years or 7 years. Is that what you asked at the end?
Okay. So our BSMD program does have a couple of requirements if you would like to be considered. The first is that you must apply as a biology or a chemistry major. You must indicate on your Common App that you're interested in the accelerated program, and you must apply by the November 1st deadline. If we offer you admission and you've indicated it on your application, we then forward your file to our Office of Pre-Professional Studies that facilitates the accelerated programs. They will review your application and contact you for further information and interview you if they are interested. We generally bring in about 12 students into that cohort every year. So it is very important that you meet all 3 of those criteria if that's the program that you're interested in. You complete your undergraduate degree in 2 years, and then you complete your professional degree in 4. I can't hear you.
So it's going to be 6-year program instead of a 7 or 8-year program.
Correct.
Ms. McCants, you may want to mention to Beza that probably the highest profile graduate of that program is the current president of the university. He came here from Trinidad when he was 16 to the program you'll be applying to.
Thank you.
So we're gonna keep going. We have some questions that we came up with unless there's other students that want to ask questions.
Okay, we're ready.
Okay, so you talked a little bit about your campus and the things that make Howard unique. Can some of the students talk about, because none of you are all from DC, can you all talk about what advice you would give students who are moving from the Midwest to the East Coast, or coming to an HBCU, living in a place where we are a very diverse city here in Minneapolis? And so how would you help them prepare for their transition to college, specifically Howard?
Julian?
I would say be comfortable to being uncomfortable, but what I mean as in that is like make yourself available, as in when it comes to making new friends, or when it comes to getting involved and joining clubs and organizations. I think that was huge for me. So I think just getting involved and just not being afraid, because when you do come to college, you're by yourself. You don't have your parents or your support system physically there with you, even though you might call them a lot and things such as that. So finding that core group of friends that make you feel comfortable and like you're at home, I think that's good.
Alexis?
Yes, so the advice that I would say, being from the Midwest, one of the most important things to me was having my car, because in the Midwest, like, we drive everywhere. So I for sure wanted my car in DC, and like, y'all, it was very tempting, but I promise, like, you will not need your car. One, because parking on campus is just super expensive. And then two, the traffic in DC is so bad, it would be faster if you just walked. So one thing I learned very quickly when I got to Howard is use the transportation systems. I know if we show our student ID, we can ride the bus for free. We have the metro that you can do. A lot of people walk places because it's DC, and things are generally close. And then also Uber is a really big thing. So my main piece of advice was, don't be so consumed in like having a car on campus, because Howard will make sure you, and we also have shuttles on campus as well. So free shuttles that'll take you not only around campus, but to our West campus. So the law school, School of Divinity, the libraries and things over there. And then there's also a shuttle to like Target and some of the other places around the city that you can go to.
All right, thank y'all for sharing. We have a student that has a question, and is she able to ask the question at this time?
Yes.
Yeah. So my question was, right before schools were closing down, I was unable to take the ACT. Is Howard planning on going test optional for?
We've not made that decision yet, but we are considering it given the nature of the uncertainty with the current scenario.
All right, thank you. I have another question. All of the students talked about how great the campus is and finding their people on campus. Can you all talk a little bit more about how you were able to find your people or those communities that supported you, where it was in, if it was in a dorm or a club or in classes? Can you talk a little bit more about that?
For me, staying in the Harriet Tubman Quadrangle, which is the all-female freshman dorm community style, was really one of the major things that helped me make friends. Come from New Orleans, I didn't really know anybody who was here. So seeing people every day, getting ready with them, like Julian had said earlier with the guys dorm, really, really helped me like build a network. Also, I was part of my state club, Louisiana Club. So they have a lot of different state clubs, and that really helped me because I was able to be around people who, you know, grew up similar backgrounds as me and didn't feel so, you know, left out because of DC is so far. So I think those two things are definitely what helped me make friends.
I think for myself, yes, Harriet Tubman Quadrangle, 100%. The best friends that I have now, I all met in quad my freshman year. But I think another thing as well was sort of knowing who you are and what you're not. And I think a lot of times in high school, when we think about peer pressure, we think about it from people that we know we may not associate with, that we may not get along with. And I think when you are first coming to school, you're sort of trying to find yourself, you're trying to be outgoing, but you're not trying too much to be out your comfort zone. And I think that sometimes we may put ourselves in positions with people that we're sort of like, oh, it's college. Yeah, I'll skip that class. Don't skip class. And there were just certain things for myself coming in freshman year that I knew I didn't do, like skipping class. I most definitely skipped the class freshman year. Again, I do not advise this, but the people I was around at the time made it seem like that's what you do in college. And that definitely wasn't who I was, and that definitely wasn't the student that I wanted to be. And the people that were in my life at that time who sort of made that seem like it was okay are not my friends to this day. And there's no bad blood, there's no animosity, but we just moved two different ways, and that's perfectly okay. But I think that was sort of my biggest thing about finding my people, is that not only, people that have fun, that, you can chill with, who are just good people, but also people who are sort of on the same path as you and have the same goals. Because when you're in college, that will come into play a lot more, I think, than when you are in high school.
I transferred in, so I actually didn't have the whole quad experience. I went to another university before coming to Howard, but since being at Howard, I kind of found my niche through all the clubs and organizations I actually joined. From student ambassadors, which plays a big part in my daily day-to-day life, to just doing the football team, to being on the radio station, and all the connections that I made through everything I was maneuvering. That's really why I found my group of friends that I'm graduating with now today. So Maya was definitely right when she said, find the people that fit you and don't try to change for anyone. Know your morals and values, because they play a huge part in your college career and success.
Mm-hmm.
So to what everyone said, I agree with everybody. Definitely joining clubs and organizations. My first year was kind of difficult for me because I hadn't found my people. I made friends with my floor mates, of course, but I just still felt kind of uncomfortable being at Howard. I didn't feel secure in my place there. And then second year, it literally was a 180. Everything changed. I joined student ambassadors, and I felt more comfortable and more secure as a student at Howard. And then I made a family. Student ambassadors was my first real family. So I really appreciated that, and that changed my outlook of Howard especially. And then, one thing that I really love about Howard, probably my favorite thing about Howard, is that it truly lets you be whoever you are and be unapologetic about that. So if you're Black and you love anime, you're Black and you love K-pop, you're Black and you love country, there's someone for everybody at Howard. And so once you realize that it's okay, it's perfectly fine to be exactly who you are, and no one's gonna judge you for that, then you truly figure out who your people are and what you're gonna do.
If I could add something right quick to the point you just made, Alexis. I know Minnesota has a large population of folks who are Midwesterners, but whose parents or even grandparents at this point came from other places, particularly East Africa. If you're people from East Africa and you feeling a little homesick, DC has one of the largest populations of Ethiopians and Somalis in the country. Right across the street from Howard, Haile Garima, who I think it was about 2 years ago, he came up to the Walker in Minneapolis to give a talk. He made the film Sankofa. Yeah, Sankofa film and books. He's Ethiopian. And I'm just saying, and of course, DC is the capital of the country. So if you want to intern for your congressperson, there's somebody from wherever you're from, there's somebody connected in DC. So as you are exploring, as you just heard all these young people say, get out there in the city and understand that if you're looking for your food, if you're looking for a mosque, if you're looking to get your hair done and you want to do it the way you've been doing it at home, there's probably a place in DC that can do that with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you, Dr. Carr. That is so true about Minneapolis. In effort to make sure that we don't run past our time, it's 4:53 here, and I know it's 5:53 there, and we want to be done in the next 9 to 10 minutes, because we know that you all are working outside of your time. So we thank you and appreciate that. We have one last question. What is one piece of advice the students on here and the 2 alumni that you have for our Project Success students if they decide to come to Howard? What are some things that they should know, or some advice you would give them while they're still in high school or thinking about going to college? What is some advice that someone gave you or you would give them?
I'll start. So my advice is in regards to the application. I know Howard specifically doesn't have like interview process. So the only way that the admissions team is really going to be able to know or see who you are as a person is through your essay. So when you're writing your essay, like truly put it all out there. Talk about the things that you're interested in, what motivates you, what your inspirations are, so they can truly like grasp the concept of who you are as a person and as a servant leader. And that's going to help your chances with your applications.
I would just say embrace every last part of your entire college experience as well as your high school journey. College isn't the same exact as high school. It's a different ball game. No one's waking you up and helping you do this or that. So you're definitely on your own, but it teaches you self-discipline, and it's something that you need. And embrace every last moment, every nick, cranny, and possible mess up you could have. Enjoy and embrace it because it will teach you so much. I'm definitely not the same Amber that I was when I first started out freshman year to the graduating senior that I am today. So definitely just embrace every minute that you can possibly and have fun.
I would say you'll hear a lot at Howard, your network is your net worth. So definitely wherever you go, definitely, reach out to your professors, go see them during office hours so that they know who you are and they're willing to work with you. If somebody comes and is here for a career fair, reach out to them. You don't know what, your network can bring you. So definitely, try to know as many people as possible and put yourself out there. I know it's kind of hard, like being from New Orleans, it's a small city, so I'm not really used to, having to branch out too much. But learning that and learning that through Howard and how to be confident, how to, show myself to these people, it really helped me a lot. And I got a lot of opportunities just through people knowing other people. So.
I think I would say don't be scared to improve. I think a lot of times we get wrapped up in like sort of where we start. If we sort of feel like we start with a bad grade, if we sort of feel like we start with, maybe a bad group of friends. I think that one of the biggest things that I learned is that I can always put my best foot forward. And just like everyone has sort of said, Howard is such an amazing place for growth. And it has, for me, it's come to a point where, sort of like Amber said, if I know I make mistakes, I know I can come back from that. And I know something will grow from that. And so I just don't want you guys, no matter where you guys go, hopefully it's Howard, but I just don't want you guys ever to get wrapped up in your failures, because improvement is the biggest success that you can have. Don't let yourself stay down. Don't let yourself continue to, stay in a rut about it. Go to class the next day and do better on that test. Go out the next day and, maybe talk to that friend you had a fight with. Do anything to sort of make the next day better than the past.
Julian?
I would say find your balance and stay. So find your balance and stay disciplined. And what I mean is we're saying get involved, have fun, network. At the end of the day, we are there for school and you are a student. So you do want to stay on top of your work. Coming from a person that did not do so well his first semester of his freshman year, I've climbed back up now, be good. But at the time, I would say that I wasn't disciplined and I was doing things necessarily I wasn't supposed to be doing, or just not putting as much focus into my work and things such as that. So once you find a balance of school and socializing, I feel like the Howard experience and the college experience in general is very smooth and it's a great time and you'll enjoy yourself.
All right, thank you all so much for sharing. We have one more student question, and then hopefully after that, we'll wrap it up. And she can ask her question now.
My other question was what are your favorite or most iconic places at Howard University on the campus?
My favorite place is the hallway in the Fine Arts building that holds Alain Locke's art collection. I remember walking down that corridor when I was 18, and it is still to this day someplace that connects me with what the diaspora means and what it means to be an African American, and more importantly, how very, very special Howard University is to have that collection as a part of the university, and right there that anyone can access at any time. It just makes me feel special. Oh, you're muted, Dr. Carr. Unmute yourself.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Y'all can hear the music in the back. I'm getting ready to do every day. Roland Martin has a digital show, and I'm supposed to go on at 6. So right up against it. My favorite place is my office, which is on the 3rd floor of Founders Library, which used to be the law school. That's the iconic building. Y'all saw Miss McCann's show. And when you come to Howard, we spend a lot of time on that 3rd floor. It's a lot of ghosts in that building. That's where they came up with the strategy with the Howard lawyers that argued Brown versus the Board of Education. So y'all come to that building and I'll show y'all the room where they came up with that very legal strategy and destroyed Jim Crow in this country. So that's my favorite place.
Thank you so much, Dr. Carr.
I got to drop. I'm sorry, Ms. McCants, I got to roll.
No,
so,
you're good.
Thank you
you're
so
good.
much.
Thank you.
Of course. I'm going to see y'all soon, though.
Yes.
All right.
Take care.
Yeah, well, we would like to hear from the other students before we end the call.
I think my favorite place is the yard. And the yard is just like, to the outside world, it's just a patch of grass. But it is so much, like to Howard students, it is so much more than that. And you will find when you come on campus, we will find any excuse to be on the yard. Like, and we will make an event out of it. I'm talking like first nice day out. We will have the jump ropes. We may have like some of fine art. And we and Amber are like about to cry because I just like springtime on the yard is it's a thing like for seniors. People will be out there jumping rope. Maybe the band students will come out and be playing something. They'll be dancing. Organizations will be selling ice cream. Like student DJs will be out. I mean, it is that for me, that is like the center of Howard. Like if you ask me where I felt like Howard's core was, I would say the yard.
Yeah.
And it's hard being in this situation in the spring as a graduating senior. I'm not looking at Amber right now because she's about to make me cry, but it's a really, really special place.
And not only the day-to-day, like homecoming takes place there, graduation takes place there, like everything takes place on the yard. So it's just like really the center.
Yeah, so to back her up, the yard definitely, but for me, it's going to be the steps of the school communications. People be like, oh, what, the steps? Why? I spend so much time on those steps, creating packages, coming up with news ideas, what's going to shoot, how are we going to shoot, where is the setting going to be at, is this the right lighting? And all of that thought process came to on those steps. Like those steps created great ideas for me, exactly who to interview, where. Those were the first steps I walked up to when I had to go inside of a building that is my own. I ate, slept, and lived inside of SOC. So for me, the school communication steps will forever hold a dear spot in my heart, and that's my favorite location, behind the yard.
Alexa?
My favorite place on campus, like Dr. Can y'all hear me? Okay, great. My favorite place is also in Founders Library. It's the Moreland Springer Research Center. This is my favorite place because a lot of y'all might not know this about me, but I love history. Like, I'm such a history nerd, and like, there's so much history in Moreland Springer, and like, you can go in there and look at the archives, and there's also like stuff like letters from Alain Locke to W.B. Du Bois, like just so many different things that like you wouldn't think to look at or to look up or to research you can find in Moreland Springer. And like, yeah, I just think that's so cool. So that's my favorite, and it's a great place to study. Like, it's always quiet in there. So.
Did everyone get a chance to share their favorite place on campus?
Julian?
Julian.
I wasn't about to answer because I don't know. Let me think. Like I do, but I don't. Hold on. So the thing is, I don't want to repeat. Like clearly, the yard has a very large significance. I think it's I would have to say it's a toss-up between either Drew Hall, just because the experiences, and when I go back there, all the like the memories just start to flow, or I would have to say Club iLab. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. You feel me? Stop.
Please explain to them that Club iLab is not a club,
All right,
Julie.
okay. So Club iLab, but it's actually iLab, or their information lab, and it's just a spot that students can study for usually 24 hours. I think on like Sundays it's not 24 hours, but it's 24 hours throughout the week, and it's a lot of students do go in there at night to finish up their work, and we say Club iLab because sometimes the volume can increase. So there's a lot of people there. We're just having a good time while finishing our work, but we having a good time also. But it's just like, we just having fun. We just being college students.
All day, all night, in Club iLab.
Club iLab. You know the vibe.
I want to come to Club iLab.
Come on in.
The next time I come, Miss McCants, I want to visit there. I want to visit there. Okay. And hopefully that'll be next spring. At this time, it is a little bit after 6 where you all are, and it's a little bit after 5 where we are. I want to say to each and every Minneapolis Public School student, thank you for taking time today to come. Thank you, Anne, for putting this together with Ms. McCants and Dr. Carr. Thank you, Ms. McCants, for doing this for our students. We love you so much here in Minneapolis. You are always welcoming to our students and when we are on your campus. So we are sending you much love and virtual hugs. And to each and every Howard student, the future graduates, I can't wait to see you all in the future, maybe on CNN, maybe on ESPN, maybe, you know, when the world opens back up, I'll see you. But thank you so much for your time, your energy, and your thoughtful answers to all of our questions. And we look forward to seeing you all very soon in the near future. I don't know when, but I'm going to say the near future.
Yes.
With that being said, I'm going to give it to Anne.
Oh, wait, if I could say one thing. If you guys have any other questions for any other students or anything, you can follow us on the Student Ambassador Instagram or Twitter and ask us questions there. It's at HU Student Ambas. I can put it in the chat, or someone can put it in the chat. So if you guys have any further questions, you can just hit us up there.
Please put it in the chat so when our other students watch it later on tonight or tomorrow, they'll have the information. And I'm going to follow it because I want to see Club iLab. Yep.
What? Oh.
Great. Well, thank you all so much for giving us this opportunity to share the Howard University experience with you. We love hosting you on our campus, and we hope to see everybody in real life real soon.
Perfect. Yes. Thank you so much, Ms. McCants, Dr. Carr, and then all the student ambassadors who were able to join. We have Amber, Maya, Julian, Madison, and Alexis. Thank you so much. And then our Project Success students. I know we were joined by a few. Some had said they had to leave early, but thank you to Naya and Sarah and Beza, Darnell, Tamira, for all joining in today and just being great representatives of our student body. We were supposed to come out with a group of close to 60 students, but yeah, we're looking forward to coming again next year and keep it going. But
Great.
Thank you so much for all your time and all your efforts. And then I will go ahead and share this video along with some of the virtual resources that you provided and that you mentioned.
Great.
Thank you so much. Really, really heartfelt. Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Be well, everyone.
Thank you, guys.
Be safe.
Be safe. Be safe.